It's different in a lot of ways. You know, the mountains are like my ocean. I mean, growing up in Bermuda, ocean, just being next to it, the noise, the smell. Um, you know, like when I'm in Bermuda, it's just to know that I'm surrounded by water it comforts me. Um, when I go out to go skiing, you know, as I talked to one of my buddies, you know, a week ago, you know, he's like, you know, you got to play golf like you ski, because we've boarded, and he's a boarder and I'm a skier, so we've hung out a couple times on the mountains, and he's like, you know, you're not technical when you're skiing. You know, you're seeing your turn, you're seeing your lines, and you're just going for it. You got to do the same thing when it comes to golf. So while skiing is tremendously different from golf, it's I think its value is trying to figure out, you know, you got to see your lines and you just got to go for it. And as you know, I mean, skiing, I mean, you pick it and you charge it, and you're not thinking about, hey, you know, I got to be here, here, and here. I mean, it's the situation changes, the terrain changes. I mean, it's just so therapeutic to be. I mean, you're riding up in the chairlift and you look out at these just gorgeous mountains and these trees. I mean, you see these freaking trees just going just straight up off the side of, you know, drops. It's amazing, number one, and then the silence out there. I mean, it just allows you to just totally clear your head, you know. So it just relates a lot to golf. I can relate skiing and golf together really well. So I think they marry each other a little bit. I think it's more to do with I also believe it's to do with the focus of it. You know, we're talking about picking lines. I'm not necessarily saying, you know, I mean, you see your line, that's what you got to go down. How often do you hit that exact line? You know what I mean? I mean, for you, racing, I mean, you can be a few feet over and that costs you millimeters. For me, because it's fun, I mean, it'd be the same way with me in golf. You miss your line by a few feet, you know, it can be disaster, it can be great, you know, greatness. But for me, that's where I think the skiing part, I need to be more of the skiing part, because for me, I mean, like I said, the terrain changes, and all of a sudden, if you're skiing down and it doesn't look right, you know, you got to change your focus, your direction, and figure out a way to get down it. But it's a neat little thing. I mean, your lines are everything. Whether it's your focus, you know, what you're actually looking to go do. I mean, they're spot on with both skiing and golf. I definitely, I feel not a sense of, gosh, I'm just trying to pick out when I felt that sense of freedom. And I don't necessarily know that it wouldn't have mattered where I was playing. I think next year that I would have felt that. But yeah, after, you know, coming out of what has it been, just a little over a week since second stage, you know, it was a little overwhelming to start. Wasn't sure what direction I really wanted to go in, which I guess is a sense of freedom too, because it's like, you know, I can start a new thing, or I can figure out how I want to chase this, or how I want to get after it. So a sense of freedom, yeah, I think there is a sense of freedom. I mean, you know, that's the beauty of our job too. We're our own people. I mean, we do our own thing, and we practice when we want to. Some practice harder than others. But I think it's almost given me more clarity, a little bit more. It definitely has given me more freedom. I mean, it's funny you say that. I mean, freedom and focus. I mean, you know, you're only 2 millimeters away from everything, so I'm not that far away from being where I want to be as far as my career. So, yeah, freedom, I think that's a great word for it. I mean, I will practice anywhere I can. You know, that was a great part about actually going to school up here is I think, you know, that's an important part of it too is, you know, I mean, as you saw earlier in the year, where I was practicing wasn't conducive for what I was, my goals and my dreams, obviously. But the one thing that I feel like I learned in college was, you know, you don't need all that stuff. You definitely need a place to play, so that you can get your reps in that way. Because I think practicing is great, but I think playing is where you really got to be. But going to school here, I mean, we used to go hit balls in the fields all the time. You know, shag our own balls, and I mean, there's something to that. You know, there's I mean, it is almost like a sense of freedom. I mean, you're picking and you're choosing how you're going to get better, and the only way to get better, you know, here was to go out into a grass field and hit golf balls because I never had that range privilege. So we're going to whack a couple nuggets out of the field here into the trees. Go back to the roots. 2012, gonna be doing Tar Heel or the e-golf tour to start, and then you know, kind of see how things go with that. I'd like to build some momentum in there, get some confidence back, and have a really good first quarter of that, and then go do some Mondays and go take care of business. I mean, the best part about it is if you look at 2011, I believe that there's 4 guys that finished inside the top 10 on the nationwide money list to get their tour card that didn't start off with, they start off with nothing. So, I mean, if that's not incentive for anything, I mean, you're kind of crazy not to see that, you know? So, like I said, there's more than one way to do it. You don't need to have a card to be able to play on that tour or to play anywhere. So, the goal is to go do the e-golf for the first little part, get the confidence up, and then go roll it out there. You know which way it is to the golf course?